The cough virus broke out, and for the whole 2020, the events were practically non-existent. With nothing else to do, Devon would start training more, and also get a lot more active on social media, documenting his journey. Once the restrictions calmed down, a match was supposed to take place between Michael Todd, the holder of the Legacy Hammer, and Levan Saginashvili, the top 8 winner, regarded as the strongest in the eastern part of the world. They were supposed to face off for the number 1 spot in the world, however, the match eventually fell through. KOTT1, the event that would put on the match, would start looking for a replacement for Levan, and the one who would fill in would be no other than Devon Larratt. It was a perfect chance for Devon to get back to the top, and Devon put a lot into his preparation for that match.
When we do come out of hibernation, there's going to be the people who kept on investing, who kept on working.
46. Somehow I've been given another opportunity to fight, another opportunity to step into the arena and live once again. There's nothing as good as fighting. See you on the 28th.
May 28th, 2021. King of the Table 1. Both athletes in absolute peak forms. The war is on.
It's about to
Round 1, the match stops in the center, and unlike last time, Devon actually manages to keep his wrist, and he starts rising off the arm of Michael. Devon then has a running foul, so Michael eases up, and Devon then presses down. Now it's important to note that the rules are different in this match than the last time they faced. Michael isn't allowed to drop the shoulder below the table the same way he did before, as that would constitute a foul. On the restart, Michael drives harder, however Devon easily holds center. He then puts incremental drives, and with every drive he cracks Michael more and more. Michael then repositions to the front. I believe that was likely a technical error. Maybe he tried going for the press, I'm not 100% sure, but once Michael did that, Devon immediately took advantage of it. He drove forward with shoulder engaged. Michael barely managed to stop it just above the pin pad. Devon then positioned with the shoulder even better, while also keeping his wrist intact, which is incredibly impressive against Michael Todd. Devon keeps climbing.
And all the time, he's chipping away at the confidence and he's going to finish this match.
And eventually presses down 1-0 for Devon. Absolutely dominant showing from the Canadian.
Hey Rebecca! You might want to cancel that summer trip.
Second round, Devon goes more forward. He keeps the wrist, he engages the shoulder immediately off the go.
Foul for Michael, that's not good at all. And Devon is still in a good position. Now Devon, interestingly, actually tried to close the gap a little there.
Starts driving. With every drive, gains more of his cup, puts it arm on arm, presses down. Once again, 2-0 Devon. Third round, Michael tries pressing, but it gets completely shut down.
Big drive. Went for the drive there, dramatic drive.
Devon gets into a good position and Michael concedes the round. Round 4 doesn't even get to these straps. Devon doesn't let Michael escape. He contains Michael, holds on to Michael's arm, something he is completely against in his arm wrestling theories. He gets the shoulder behind and then pronates, reverses outside, applies more back pressure to stretch the arm of Michael. Michael then attempts to press. Devon doesn't allow Michael to get there. I'll stop yapping and let you watch the rest.
A strap in. That's a pin? Yes, that's a pin. Yeah, that
Wow.
And look how happy
Devon is.
And it,
With that, he regains the number 1 spot in the world, at least in the West. Michael later says that Devon's been the strongest arm wrestler he had ever faced. Continuing on with his momentum, Devon Larratt would move on to other challengers, facing John Brzenk, the GOAT, the Perfect Storm, once again, this time at King of the Table 2. A highly anticipated match between two legends. Off the go, in the first round, John hits, effectively taking the side, while also somehow managing to keep the wrist, and Devon is forced to clean move to equal out the force of John.
tries to power down to the pad.
Devon stops it. He starts cracking the wrist, John tries hitting again, but the wrist gets compromised. John then attempts to get into a hook, but Devon doesn't let him.
Up into the hand of John Brzenk, and John is top.
1-0 Devon. Second round, Devon stops the likely gassed out John right from the start. He starts with his trash talks, holds John in the center, and John concedes the round. Third round, Devon flashpin 3-0. Fourth round, Devon contains the back pressure of John, forces it into the hook.
John shoots in, but he's in a bad position there and he's chasing the hook. Trying to edge himself back in.
And wins even there. 4-0 Devon. Another dominant win, especially compared to the last time they faced in 2015. Finally, riding the momentum of his incredible form, Devon would go on to face the Georgian Hulk himself, Levan Saginashvili. Up to this point, Levan had annihilated every opponent placed before him, not dropping a single round. His dominance seemed untouchable, but now, standing across the table was Devon Larratt, in the best shape of his life, ready to do the impossible. For years, armwrestling had been split into two worlds, the WAL in the West, dominated by American and Canadian athletes, and the BAL in the East, home to the European powerhouses. But with the rise of East versus West and King of the Table, these two worlds would finally collide. And this was the showdown that would finally answer the question everyone was asking. Who truly stands at the top of the armwrestling world? With that, let's take a look at how the battle unfolded. The energy of the first round was insane. Devon starts off with his usual tactics, pulling early, trying to gain all the advantage he can. And then Levan responds to that with this surge. And I think that put fear into Devon's mind. Both athletes get fired up, and then the ready go happens. And at first it looks like a flash pin, but upon slowing the clip down, we can see that Devon's pronation actually makes Levan's wrist buckle slightly. There's even a tiny stop just above the pin pad, where the force is evened out. Devon seems confident in his chances of bringing the match back, talking to Levan, taunting him, saying that he will teach him.
Something going.
I got this guy. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna beat him. Mate, I was about to say the same thing. No limits, Devon Larratt.
Second round, Levan rips through Devon's defense, tearing his bicep in the process. And for the remaining rounds, there is simply no ability, no way for him to generate the same level of power. And Levan wins 6-0.